Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for Virgo in mid-July 2019. Hello, Virgo. How are you doing? I hope you guys are doing well. Virgo, July is practically gone, but here's your mid-month message. Please forgive me. I mean, if you guys haven't noticed, I say like something is going to be here, and then it's like usually a week later because, you know, a girl has a full-time job, a girl has private readings to do, a girl likes to be social sometimes, and I like to eat, I like to feed myself, you know, so things just get in the way. So I apologize if some of you wanted to see this like last week, but c'est la vie, here we are today. Let's get into it. Oh no, things are falling out. Things are falling out. And it fell in reverse, and it is the King of Ariel, aka the King of Pentacles. So is that you? Are you off your game? Are you not feeling yourself? Are you not feeling flush and lush and, you know, accomplished? And maybe some of you are having a little money woe. I don't know. Just a quick little what it could be. It's not part of your main reading, so we're just going to go ahead and shuffle it back into the deck. All right, Virgo, let's get into it. Shuffled off camera. Main spread is right there. I'm going to shuffle on camera now for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all of the cards are out and they are lying on the table face up, that is when the reading begins. You can look in the description box below for the timestamp if you want to jump ahead. Also down there is the information you need if you want to get a personal reading with me. Follow the steps. Everything works out. Everybody's happy. But if you do have a qualifying question or you want to clear something up before you place an order, you can contact me at the same address that is provided in the description box, okay? All right, Virgo, let's get you an outcome, shall we? This is interesting. I'm not usually so silly with Virgos, so I don't know what this means. Anyway, let's get Virgo's outcome for mid-July. Please, want to see Virgo's outcome in mid-July. Please show me. We picking? I've had to pick a few times the outcomes for other signs. I wonder if it's down to the deck or if it's down to just the energy, but almost. Yeah, okay. Outcome for Virgo, please. Pick, thank you. Yeah, man, they've been making me do it. Interesting. He was the outcome in the very last reading, which was for Aquarius. So there might be an overlap between you and Aquarius. I don't know, but that's kind of interesting. You know, I wish I understood probability and statistics because I would crunch these numbers so fast and be like, well, the likelihood that I would stop shuffling and pick the same card for the same exact position is kind of, it's probably not common. It's probably not likely. I'm not good at math. I had to take statistics in college for one of my former majors, and I failed it 3 times. I can't do math. Just putting it out there. All right, Virgo, let's get into it. Please show me where Virgo is in mid-July. Please show me where Virgo is in mid-July. Please show me. Okay, that was nice and quick. Nice and quick. And kind of also a regular or a repeat player here. Coming into your reading, Virgo, you come in with the Leap of Faith card, Major Arcana 0, or Major Arcana the Fool, card 0. Archangel Metatron. I just love saying Metatron that way. Anyway, believe in yourself. Listen to your heart. Do what gives you joy. Okay, so reading over, do all that, and you're done. Life is solved. I'm feeling like kind of, if you haven't noticed, I'm a little more playful. I feel very sarcastic. So some of you might be in that energy right now, or you're dealing with someone like that. This being the Fool, secondary major arcana for Gemini and Virgo. So here you are in your own element, one of your own cards here in the tarot. Wow, what's that? Some of you are like taking this very serious. This Fool energy is like so serious. Or not like you mean this. What did I say? Believe in yourself. Listen to your heart. Do what gives you joy. You mean that. Or you're trying to okay, thank you. Because it's not like you mean that in a demanding way. That's why I'm like, what is this? You're trying to live by these new principles, new ideals, new sensibilities, new boundaries for some of you, okay? I don't feel you're like necessarily laying down the law. I don't, because the Fool is not really about that. It's not about ultimatums, not about, you know, making demands of other people. It's really making demands or ultimatums with yourself, or just holding yourself to a new standard, a new set of rules or expectations for yourself, okay? So this is very, as much as I feel the Fool is an outwardly expressed energy, an energy that we often take into ourselves and then act accordingly outside of ourselves, I don't get the sense that you're necessarily making grand gestures with this Fool card or with this Leap of Faith card. You understand the new rules. You know what you're expecting of yourself going forward in a situation, going forward at a particular place and time. What does that mean? Going forward at a particular... Oh, okay. Like, some of you maybe are encountering a new situation, new job, new living situation. You know, maybe you've recently moved to a new city, or you've moved out of your hometown, whatever it is, and now you're going somewhere, and instead of how it was where you grew up, where you were kind of the party animal, or you went out all the time, or you had a lot of friends, you know, you've learned a thing or two, and you're applying that knowledge to your new situation. So before, I lived in the city, I lived a wilder life. I was spending money a lot down at the club, down at the bar, at the restaurants, going to festivals, doing all this stuff. I now have moved myself into the suburbs, or just a different part of the area, or a different part of the city, and in order to hit whatever new goals I have for myself, saving money, being more practical, not trusting people less, but being really discerning with the friendships that I've made. Some of you are like waking up to your friends are not your friends with this. The people you thought had your back did not. Or the people you thought you could trust with information, you could not. They sold you out. They spread your business out on these streets, okay? And so now you're like, oh, that's what happens when I do this. I'm not going to do that again. So again, it's not ultimatum. You're probably not having any type of altercations or blow-ups with anybody. You're just setting down new rules for yourself, and everybody else is going to catch up after, you know, a few steps after you. Like, if your actions and changes are leaving people in the dust, or making people feel like they're missing a part of the plot, they're not understanding fully, or they're not able to catch up with you, you're like, exactly. Okay? And it's maybe it's passive aggressive, because I feel it has the potential to come off aggressive, or maybe you want to approach a situation aggressively, or, you know, introduce these new rules, these new boundaries, these new expectations to people with aggression. You might want to, but you have reserved yourself, or pulled yourself back. You're putting that possibility off to the side. You're not going to be reactionary. You're not going to raise your voice. You're not going to get in somebody's face. You're not going to use colorful language. Everything is just going to be cool, calm, collected, cool as a cucumber. And if people have a problem with that, that's on them. Interesting. There goes all that jovial energy that I had in the beginning. So maybe that was for somebody that you're around. Maybe somebody that you're around jokes around a lot, especially like in a friendship situation, or maybe like a family situation where, you know, they spilled the beans, or they spilled the tea, as the kids say these days. Somebody spilled the tea on something that you told them in confidence. And they're like, oh, hey, Virgo, what's going on? You don't got nothing to say to them, because you found out. The thing that I trusted you to keep your mouth shut about, or the thing that I trusted you in confidence, you violated that. No words for you. Or as my mom likes to say, no rap. I ain't got no rap for you. I ain't got no rap for you. My mom, she's so silly. Love you, mommy, even though you're not watching. So that's kind of your, that's the whole kit and caboodle, really, with this Leap of Faith card. As this little, not little, but this very grown, like Indiana Jones wannabe, walking through this enchanted forest or grassland with a lassie dog, not like a little whip. Anyway, just out here, independent, making decisions for his best interest, him and his dog, you know, not worried about what Jim or Jane, Tom, Dick, or Harry, Lucy, Sally, or Mary. He doesn't care about anybody else's interest. What's best for me? And I don't even, in the way I described it just now, it might sound selfish. I don't think it's that way. I think you're self-preserving yourself, or self-preservation. Yeah? Like I said, after something has happened, a certain phase of your life, I was spending way too much money. I was living this high life when I knew I couldn't afford it. The debt has piled up. The credit cards are maxed out. Here's what I gotta do. I gotta move out of this very expensive apartment in the center of the city, in the downtown area of the city. Gotta move to a suburb, get a cheaper apartment or a cheaper house, okay? Or take in a roommate, whatever. You make these changes. You make these alterations to your life. You make these boundaries and you put them up in front of yourself and you say, Virgo will not spend money on useless, frivolous shit. That's the new rule. Virgo will adhere to these rules. This person over here violated my trust. They ran their mouth and told my business out here in these streets. Okay, you're now on reprimand, or you're now out of the circle. You're now out of the inner circle, that thing that Robert De Niro. Here's the inner circle, Greg. Here's the inner circle, Greg. And you're out. Okay, so you're putting people on notice. You did this to me, you're on the outs. Or you did this to me, we're going to have to work on this. Or you're going to have to work on this. You're going to have to prove yourself to me. Or you violated my trust. You're out completely. And if anybody has a problem with what you're doing, or if people question your motives, you're like, it's my life, my path, my new beginning, has nothing to do with you. But I'm your best friend, but I'm your husband, but I'm your wife. I'm your this, I'm your that. But I live my life. You don't live in this body. You don't walk in these shoes. So save it. Save it. Interesting. Nice, I like it. Yes, man. So, you're making these decisions. Yeah, thank you. Did I get it? Did I get it? I don't think I got it. So, I don't know if I said it. No, I probably didn't. Because I think the last video I did. Anyway, there's gnats in this room. Summertime. Live in the city. And there's a plant in here, so it makes total sense. There's gnats in this room, and they drive me crazy. And one just, like, landed here on my chest, and I went like that. I don't think I got it, but I hope I did. Anyway, so Virgo, you're making decisions. Magician. Did I say... Well, I'm glad I did say... I'm catching myself, because I know I said it. I said the Fool was secondary for Gemini and Virgo. It's the Magician. My bad. Mercury retrograde. It happens. This Fool card, secondary card of Aquarius. So you might be dealing with Aquarius. Here's where the secondary Gemini and Virgo comes in the Magician card. So I misspoke, but just one card over. Alright, so the Magician. You can manifest the life you want. What you need will magically appear. Successful beginnings. So in tandem, and we have succession, right? Going from 0 to 1. So you're starting over, for sure. Taking another stab at something, or just stepping out into a totally new path, totally new area of life, or a totally new experience, a totally new way of behaving and interacting with people. It's so fresh, the freshest, okay? And you have the succession. So you're at these are the building blocks. These are the stepping stones, whatever you're getting into. New job, new city, new friends, new phone, who dis, whatever. Magician is really piggybacking off of this intention to do something, the spirit and the drive to do something, the imagining it and the willfulness to step forward. And then here we are. I've stepped over the initial threshold, or I've stepped my first few feet or first few steps onto this new path. And now the magician kicks in and is like, okay, this new path, where we came from, the initial path was stone. This new path is made of sand. All right, so the magician digs into his bag, or digs into his bag of tricks, his little Harry Potter. Isn't there like a bag, or am I thinking of? I'm sure there's some story with like a magic bag, and there's like everything inside the bag. So the magician pulls out of his bag proper footwear for walking on sand. All right, so this is not high heel weather or high heel path. Stone, I could walk on that path with high heels, but now I got to put on this. Now I gotta change my pants into this. Oh, we're walking on a sandy path. Might kick up in my face. Maybe I'll throw some sunglasses on my face. There's all this anticipation of what you need and delivering for yourself. I see where I'm going. I see where I want to be. Let me go ahead and pull all of the tools out and the resources out of my magic bag that I need. Now, of course, in reality, you don't have a magic bag. If anybody had one in this world, they wouldn't have it for long because there would just be such a hunger to have that bag. But in reality, like I said, I don't want to spend this much money. Some of you literally cutting up credit cards, calling credit card companies. I'm done, working with you, or transferring all of your debt into one credit card, closing things out, getting a consolidation loan, or transferring, you're just doing everything within this reality to set yourself up for success down the line. All right, I've done that. I'm going to move out of this expensive apartment. I'm going to move into an apartment where it's like $200 less in rent and utilities and everything like that. Okay, what else can I do? Well, I love streaming things, but I'm sure I could get somebody else's password, so you cut off the Netflix. You cut off the Amazon Prime. Well, maybe not the Prime, because that free shipping is kind of cool. But you cut off the Hulu. You get rid of all these expenditures that you don't need. All this extra fluff in your life that you don't need. And you're asking yourself, Virgo, what do I need on this new path? Whatever it is for yourself. If it's about your physical health, all right, I need to be healthier. Do I need to be vegan? Some of you are like, I'm not going to go that far. But I could cut out dairy. I could cut out sugars. I could cut out a lot of things if your interest is purely in losing weight. If you're going hard on that and you're like, not only do I want to lose weight, I want to tone, I want to get fit. So you're like, okay, I'm going to cut out the sugars. I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to cut out my spending here. And I'm going to put all that money that I'm saving towards a fitness membership, or a personal trainer, or a dietitian, whatever. You are just going down the line, or in a methodical way, as you tend to do, Virgo, and you are seeing all the things that you need to do to improve, and you will improve upon it. Now, in the case of those, and this is for a few of you, not for everybody, but for a few of you, this is a restructuring, or you are definitely editing your social scene. You're editing your social interactions with people, or the people that make up your friendship circle. Some people are, it's like the Bachelorette out here. You're not getting a rose. See you later, bye. Okay? And maybe in your dating life, that's what you're doing. Some of you are like, okay, I've been letting a lot of these duds get close to me. It's time to raise the bar on this. It's time to, narrow these choices down. Or, definitely that first red flag, we're done. Or, maybe for the first time, you're defining what your red flags are. But no matter if it's dating, friends, family, I don't care. You are just becoming really adamant about what you will not accept in terms of interpersonal relationships, regardless of what type it is. I'm not going to allow this. I will not perpetuate that. And that's it. It's methodical, it's practical. You've weighed the pros and cons, you've considered the ways, you've been critical of yourself, as you are. I mean, your criticism is often projected towards others, Virgo, but you do have some for yourself. And you've been careful. You're like, am I overthinking this? Am I being too harsh about this particular thing that I want to see in these relationships, or these certain behaviors that I don't want people to exhibit towards me? And you're thinking about it, you're like, no, this is reasonable. This is reasonable. It could happen. This is not anything super crazy. So you move forward and say, okay, listen, I work a full-time, you might be saying this to your friends, your family, whoever. I work a full-time job. I volunteer sometimes. I'm asking everyone, or at least you're not even asking, you're telling everybody. On Saturdays, between the waking hours of the day, basically, I'm not available for any conversations or any communication unless it's an absolute emergency until 2 p.m. Saturdays. Because you've decided, Virgo, Saturday mornings, you're going to wake up early, you're going to take a hike, you're going to go, you're going to sit at your favorite cafe, you're going to have a chai latte or just a chai tea, and then you're going to go into a public meditation yoga session, and then you're going to be home by 11. You're going to take a lovely, long, luxurious bath, or you're going to take a long, steamy shower. You're going to apply all the essential oils to your body after you're out of the shower. You're going to lotion your body up. You're going to relax. And then by 2 p.m., friends, family, whomever, contact me if you want, but not before 2 o'clock. That ritual that you are now putting as the staple of your life, or this new tradition, this new practice that you want to put into your life, is paramount. I'm looking out for me. High stress job, lots of hours, kids are in my ear. I'm telling my wife, I'm telling my husband, listen, Saturday mornings, I need you to have the kids because this is something I really want to do for my well-being. And if people don't want to rock with it, that's on them. I mean, in the situation with the spouse and kids, you're going to have to make compromises, of course. But you're really resolute in this, Virgo. I am making a new something in my life, walking a new path in my life. If you're not about it, step aside. Or some people are just absolutely being removed. You don't even get to be around me. You don't even get to see this new path, this new person I'm trying to be. You can go. Some people are getting their walking papers. You can go. No rose. Take your limo. Cry it out. Bye-bye. And I don't even watch The Bachelor or Bachelorette. I just know that's the gist of the thing. Now, interesting. So, that really upsets somebody. This could be the person you're giving them their walking papers. Because I don't think this is you. Knight of Gabriel, right above you, in reverse. Fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You might be dealing with one of them. Confident, enthusiastic, courageous, charismatic. Time to take action, great passion for a cause, instinctively knowing what to do. In the reverse, given where you start, where you're ramping up, and then also seeing that, no, I don't think this is you. This is somebody else. So this could be the friend, the coworker, the partner, the children with their demands. Not like you're going to kick your kids out or, you're not going to talk to them or anything like that. But there's just this person or this aspect of this person is donezo. Is not allowed in your vicinity anymore. Okay? So this person, or it could be that aspect of you. Like I said, some of you are like hanging up your party hat, hanging up that, that party boy, party girl lifestyle, and you're like, you know what, I gotta make these changes. I can't be doing all this stuff. So if it's not an external person, this is a part of you. The enthusiasm and the whoever this is, whatever this is, it's a rambunctious energy. It's a very passionate, fiery energy. A lot of progressive energy here, like movement, not progression necessarily, but movement. This person could have been a busybody, or for those, this kind of busybody, this talky person, yeah? Too much. And given the reverse position, overzealous or inconsiderate a lot of the time, blameless or escapist, okay? So this could be somebody where, you know, you go to them with a criticism, or you go to them and you say, hey, listen, when you said that kind of hurt my feelings. And you're like, oh, well, I'm sorry that you're hurt, but, you know, I you know, that's just how I talk. This is just who I am. Or the person who like spills your business to people. I told you that in confidence. Why would you say that? Why would you tell people that I told you that? I didn't think it was a big deal. And you look at them. I wish you could have just seen the look I gave out to the wall. I was just like, are you crazy? Why would I sit here, like, pull you to the side or call you up and say, listen, can you come over after work? I really need to talk to you. Or, you know, do you want to go out to dinner tonight? I really just need to get something off my chest. And then you made a whole big deal out of telling people something. Or, you know, just this person, not that they lied on you, but they kind of blew your confidence, or they don't value you is the bottom line. Because for some, you didn't confess anything to them, they confessed something to you, and you've kept it under your hat. You haven't told anybody. You were their support system, and then they treat you like garbage the next day, or they seem to forget how you helped them. And they act like, well, you never did anything for me anyway, Virgo. And you're like, I did not? Is that what? What makes you say that? Well, you've always sided against me, and you've never taken my side or in anything, or you've never been there for me when I needed you. And you're like, do you recall the phone call that I took from you at 2:30 in the morning on a Tuesday? And you say I'm not there for you. You say I'm not a friend to you. You say I'm not supportive of you. Boy or girl, bye. You can just stop with that. So there's a pushing out of this person. They're selfish, self-centered, egotistical, short-sighted, short-term memory problem, okay? Maybe literal for some of them, because, okay, thank you. Because look at this person. This knight is on a horse. So some of them maybe have had an injury that causes their memory to be, that's like for one person. Very specific. Some type of injury, some type of PTSD or traumatic event causes them to have some type of emotional imbalance or some lapse in their memory, and you're just like, you know, and that would really pull at a Virgo's heartstrings a little bit, to know that somebody, because of injury, because of past experiences, because of past trauma, they no longer have a great memory, or it causes their anger to flame up a lot more quickly, or it causes them to be depressed more often than not. So a Virgo would be less likely to push that person out of their lives entirely, but I do feel in that specific case, for this one, maybe a handful of people who might be in this situation, you would try to establish a firm boundary. And you might not even tell them that you're doing that, as a form of protection for yourself. So if you know this person has a terrible memory, is emotionally unstable, or has emotional instability, right? You're going to try to not take it so personally. You know, especially if there's again, in this specific case, where you care so much about this person and you know it's not their fault, it's because of something that has happened to them previously, you realize, I have to protect myself. I can't allow myself to be so, not vulnerable, but so sensitive to their behavior. I have to realize it's nothing personal, or it's just in the moment, and it doesn't mean that they don't value my help or support. So that's for a few of you. But for most of you, you're dealing with somebody who has total control over who they are. They have incredible. They have total autonomy, and they have full capacity and capability. They're functioning. Those people, get out. Okay? Yeah, okay, thank you. 13, peace. In this deck, peace. In other decks, death. I'm sorry. That was maybe not the best time to kind of have a little bit of a snarky joke. Anyway, so peace. Release the past. Let a more enriching future... There is a more enriching future coming. Let go and let God. So I think that kind of speaks to basically what happened here with your Leap of Faith card and your Magician. You know, things are not what they used to be within Virgo. Or Virgo doesn't want things to be the way they used to be. Virgo is interested in something new. Virgo is interested in transcending and just getting to a new playing field, yeah? Release the past. More enriching future coming, Magician energy, setting out on that new path and utilizing resources that are around you. Now, let go and let God. Because again, this is relative to that death energy in the traditional tarot. And death in tarot, as this card also peace would indicate, is we're talking about transitions. We're talking about major transformative periods, transformative energy. And let go and let God. That's like tripping me up because I'm not feeling... I had this card yesterday for Capricorn. I think, yeah, it was Capricorn. And that had a huge religious overturn to it yesterday. Today, not so much. But I'm stuck on it for some reason. Let go and let God. Look at those two gnats over there on the wall. Sorry, guys. Okay. For some of you, not from a religious standpoint or anything like that, but the aim of you, damn card is called peace. Let go. Be at peace with it. Like, you don't want aggravation. You know, some of what I've said today may have sounded a bit aggravated or a bit adversarial, and maybe that's just a channeling of your energy or the energy of others around you. But ultimately, Virgo, I don't think you want these changes to be anything that anyone has something to say about, or that has anybody feeling like you're doing them dirty or anything like that. You really want this transition to be peaceful. No aggravation. No salty feelings, right? Nobody needs to get all worked up about anything. Here's what I'm doing. And if you don't like it, okay. I can't prevent you from disliking it. I can't prevent you from having, you know, certain feelings about the things that I'm choosing to do. But for my sake, my health, my sanity, my peace of mind, this is it. And you let go. Or this is what you want to do. You want to let go of feeling obligated to defend yourself, obligated to explain yourself, obligated to always consider, not to say never again in your life, but always consider someone else's feelings or other people in what they want, or obligated for those who this is just like this internal, you know, self-care track, or this change in your lifestyle, obligated to live up to someone else's or some perception of who you are, or what society wants you to be, or what certain people of a certain, you know, socioeconomic status are supposed to look like, what they're supposed to sound like, what they're supposed to put in their body, what they're supposed to drive on the road. You just want to release that. That's a whole side of yourself, a whole version of yourself that needs to be put to rest. Again, with the letting go, peace, and again, traditional understanding of this card is death. Death is the release of what we knew. Whether we're talking about a literal death in the physical realm or we're talking something figurative, it's over. What we knew, what we saw, what we experienced is over. And I like the peace part of this for you because it's so calm. The Leap of Faith card is calm. The Magician is calm. The biggest flack, the biggest fiery, you know, bombastic or interjecting energy comes from that Knight of Gabriel, which again, I feel is absolutely not you. You are on this calm path. And if this is all you, this is all major arcana. So you're on this spiritual trek, or you're on this thematic extravaganza. Sure. You're on this thematic trajectory, I think is more what I wanted to say. That, you know, the major arcana speak to themes in our life, speak to highlights of the life, like chapter titles, you know. The minor arcana, the court cards, those are the different words and sentences and the characters that populate a story. The major arcanas speak to the chapters. Yeah? What am I going to learn in this chapter? Chapter 3, Virgo becomes a new self. Okay, and here's how we know that. Here's somebody who's in the nooks and crannies of the page, but the overall is all this. I like that. Now, your outcome for mid-July is the King of Michael, aka King of Swords. Principle: rational, ambitious, respected, wisdom and objectivity are important now. Stay in your integrity, a situation that calls for honest and open communication. So, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, you might be dealing with one of them, but you don't have to be. I think this is definitely you, but I think this also applies to this entire reading or whatever realm in your life this is going to hit with. There is a way to do this, make these changes, become this new self, set up these boundaries, you know, and there's a way to articulate all that. There's a way to go about it. I really don't feel you're being bombastic. I don't think that you're being confrontational. You would only be confrontational if someone took you there. Like, I mean, we're all human. We all have our limits. We all have our different, you know, limits to patience and all that kind of stuff. So some of you might get involved in some kind of, you know, nasty talk or, you know, escalated conversations that don't need to be escalated, you know, fine. But overall, I don't think that what you intend to do or the temperature of the situation is to be so aggressive or so dismissive. Like, internally, maybe in your head, you're like, oh, who, like, if someone is, like, criticizing you or asking you why you're doing this, in your head, you're like, because I want to. And in your head, you might be thinking, because of this and that and that. And you might be a little aggressive internally. But I think when it comes to expressing yourself outwardly, Virgo, it would really behoove you, and it would really, not even it would, it's just going to be that way. It's a matter of fact. I'm not mocking, I'm not being adversarial, I'm not being dismissive, I'm being matter of fact. Here's what I've come to decide. Here's what I will be doing going forward. If anybody disagrees, I'm sorry. If anybody's hurt by my decision, I do apologize. But I must do these things for myself. That's it. It's not necessarily the end of the conversation, but like that's sort of the tone that I think most of you are going. I'm not here saying these words and making these declarations and kind of telling you all what I've been going through and what I've decided to do with the next step of my life, and this is something you might be doing with yourself if it's that self-development thing. I'm not playing, but I'm also not going to, you know, be chopping anybody's head off. I'm not here to, you know, rule over people and say, you know, slam your hand down on the table like, boom, Virgo's speaking now, and here's what I'm saying, and all of you can go to hell. It's not like that. Potentially, King of Swords could do those things. King of Michael could do those things, but I don't feel that's here. These three, plus this guy, you're chilling in your new decision. If anybody pushes back, you might not even engage with them. You might not even meet them there on that level. You're you know, somebody comes to you, probably that person, Knight of Gabriel, comes to you and says, I don't like this. Or, you know, is leaving you voicemails, sending you text messages, sending you emails, doing whatever. Coming to your house. Virgo, I want to talk to you about this. And you're sitting right there on the couch. Virgo, I want to talk to you. They know you're in there. They see your car outside. You got the TV on. Maybe you're on the phone with somebody else. Ha 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 ha. You know, not laughing per se, because they might take it the wrong way, but you're on the phone. Yeah, so blah, 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 da, 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 da. And like, Virgo, I can hear you in there. You are just not about it. If someone's coming to you with some crazy aggression, you will not meet them there. You will not meet them there. Some of you won't even talk to them, period. You might respond, I'll talk to you about this when you calm down. We can talk about this after you go to bed and sleep on it. But this raising of voices, this aggravation, this trying to get riled up over something I'm choosing to do for myself, I'm not about that. I'm not gonna engage with you in that. Overall energy. Knight of Cups. AKA, I'm not reading it as it is. Knight of Ariel, my bad. AKA the Knight of Cups. So, trustworthy, not Knight of Cups, I'm sorry. Knight of Pentacles. Jeez. I want it to be the Knight of Cups for you, but this is also, is probably just as good. Trustworthy, understanding, devoted, funny. There is so much to accomplish. Make a very detailed plan. Being watched over by someone kind. So, your guiding energy here today. What's in the backdrop? Like, that's interesting and kind of an odd thing to do, but I'm going to go with it. What they showed me was literally a backdrop, like on a stage, you know, like a school play or something like that, or, you know, a Broadway play, it doesn't matter, where you can see what we're dealing with when you look at the background. If you go to see Guys and Dolls, school performance, Broadway, it doesn't matter, and you see the fire escapes, the tenement buildings, the street lamps or the street, what do you call those? Traffic signals, right? Garbage cans, all this painted on a set. You're not going to sit in the audience and say, oh man, this looks like a Western. I'm going to sit and watch a musical about a Western. No. You know what it's about. You're going to be in an urban area. They're going to be singing about, you know, Guys and Dolls. I've never seen Guys and Dolls, and I don't even know that it would be on Broadway. But you contextually can understand by looking at the background. That's what this Knight of Ariel is. This Knight of Pentacles. Background of this whole situation. So what is it? We're dealing with planning. We're dealing with foresight in planning. I want to get here. You're like looking down like a road or something like that. Or you're looking down in a map. And you're saying, I want to get here. And you're like, okay, route 1 will be like, boom, boom. Route 2 would go over this mountain range and back here, da-da-da, but it saves 15 minutes. Like, you're really plotting this out. Knight of Ariel does that. Knight of Pentacles, yeah? So we're talking about planning, long-term goal setting, okay? Being dedicated to that, not wavering from that. It's the Pentacles, so it's related to Earth sign energy, so you're on your home turf with that. So you're very comfortable with having a slow, because he's also slow, methodical and paced out approach to this very monumental change, because again, 3 major arcana. But you're not rushing it. You're not being tyrannical with it. Like I said, the big ball of energy here is that Knight of Gabriel, who you're, for the most part, most of you are dismissing from your life. No Rose, get in the limo, go home. Walking papers, you're out. As, you know, it's just, I like this for you, Virgo. I really do. And the thing about this Knight of Ariel is like, it's this new foundation. I think we talked about that a lot between the Leap of Faith and the Magician, but it's definitely foundational energy. I'm here to plant a seed that will grow into a beautiful tree, that will grow into a beautiful bush, and I'm going to make this thing flourish over time. You know, whatever you're doing is not some overnight success story. You're aiming to make these new, or make a charge. take a stab at, there we go, thank you, take a stab at this new way of being. And you want to be sure, you don't want to rush it. Because if you rush it, you know that you might not succeed. Like, that's the thing. You're not playing around. This guy up here, Knight of Gabriel, playing around. All these other cards, not playing around. Alright? Virgo, that is your reading for mid-July. If you liked it, the like button is down below. Go ahead and hit it for me. You can leave a comment on the video letting me know how it resonated in your life if it did. You can also share the video across your social media platforms. Let other people know that you're watching my stuff and you like it. And of course, you can subscribe if you have not already subscribed. I've seen incredible growth and I want to continue to see that growth. I'm actually pretty dang amazed about it, and so I want to see that continue to happen. So if you want to help me, you can do any and all of those things. That would be great. Quick announcement here at the end. I will be going live in August, guys. First time going live, and I'm doing that specifically for Leo. I'm telling everybody because I told Leo, and then I figured, you know, why would I just tell Leo in their birthday message? I should tell everybody. But, and the reason I'm telling everybody is because it's not just going to be for Leo. Like, I'm going live for Leo and that's it. No, I'm going live for Leo because I gave them their birthday message on Monday. And this marks the second year that I'm doing birthday material on my channel. So I decided to not only do the general reading, which is posted and people can watch it at their leisure, but I also want to do something, live events for every zodiac that I do a birthday message for. So going forward, that's going to be Leo in August, that's going to be you guys, Virgo, in September, right after, and then of course following down the line, Libra, blah, 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 all the way up until I do Cancer in 2020, right? So you can come by at the live event, and I'm calling it an event, it's not an event, I'll be in this room. It'll be bad camera quality because my laptop sucks. But so you're welcome to be there. It's just I will be directing my energy and my readings towards Leos who are in the room. You can say hi, you can hang out, that would be great. But, you know, if you don't want to be there because it's not for you, you don't have to. What is for you is the general readings for August. Those will be coming up in about a week and a half. And then, of course, the mids in August. And then at the end of August, which, you know, I'm forecasting like a month from now, I will be doing your birthday readings. And then, of course, September, like I said, I'll go live with you guys. So, Virgo, you got some things to look forward to. I hope I see you there for all of those things. But if not, I totally get it. As for today, I thank you so much for watching this video. I really, really, really do appreciate it. Take care, guys. Bye.